Hello everybody, my name is Zach, aka the Weather Gamer, bringing you the WWC Season 8, Season 7, recap for your Chicago Charizards. Unfortunately, I have the wrong color on my weekend battle. I did not win that, I lost that. Unfortunately, I didn't make playoffs. My loss, I could have, but Harv decided he had to go in 6-0 instead of 5-0. If he had 5-0'd, it would have been a play-in game between him and I for the last spot, potentially. No, because Khan won. So because Khan won, there was no chance. Yeah, anyways, it is what it is. It was 8 weeks. I think if I had had 10 weeks, there was a chance I could have dug myself back out of it, but with it being a shortened season for trying to squeeze it in before BDSP dropped, it just didn't work out. So it is what it is. This team was also really heavily flawed, in my opinion. I know a lot of other people have told me when I've made that comment that it's not nearly as bad as I think it is, but in reality, it is flawed from my playstyle perspective. It really is rough for me as far as my playstyle. It just didn't mesh well. I mean, clearly, Dragapult only had 7 kills, and that might be part of the issue too. Is that I have heavily relied on Dragapult, just like I heavily relied on Zeraora for a long stretch of time, to the point where I'm starting to maybe just burn out, brain dead. I'm building the same sets, getting too predictable, and need to take a break from Dragapult for a while. I mean, this was a potent Fairy Dragon Steel Core, and it just, you can tell that it produced the majority of my kills, but not in the order that you would have thought. Honestly, you give Corviknight's kills to Colt, you give Colt's kills to Lele, and Lele's kills to Corviknight. That'd make a little more sense, but I don't know. It was a so-so season. So, Heartbreaker week 1, I had the tech, just got outfoxed. Sucker Punch on Dragapult would have been fantastic. Week 2 and 3, we win. Week 4, I lose to Sparky, just dismantled. Week 5 against Penguin, I almost choked. Ian demolished me, and that was poor prep on my part. I should have brought Corviknight or Ditto, one of the two, and I just made the mistake of not bringing either one. Week 7, we win against Jake, and then against Jet, Hacks didn't go my way, but I also just played like I played too timid. I slipped back into my old timid habits of not playing what's in front of me, trying to over-predict and guess, and reality is I should have just stayed in and smashed that Sylveon apart, which was my mistake. And I kind of forgot that I had a Alolan Muck with an Assault Vest to kind of 1v1 it. And then just some cool predictions on the wrong predictions, predicting Steelo over Garchomp coming in. I should have Ice Punched. If I'd Ice Punched and killed the Garchomp, I would have had that team in a much better position and potentially made playoffs, but oh well, it is what it is. Dragapult 7-5. Really disappointed with that performance. I think it's the first performance since the first time I used Dragapult. Brad was held under 10 kills on it. I just could not get it going. I tried running Specs, I tried running Scarf, sub Dance set. I even tried some techie stuff with Terrain. Just did not go well. I tried to set up at the wrong time. I mean, if I had not choked versus Penguin and just gone for the Dragon Darts instead of forcing the Urshifu, which I have no idea why I did that, Dragapult probably would have picked off a few more kills that game. So, there is still the potential. Corviknight blew up 13 and 2. Just unbelievable that Corviknight just did that. Bulk Upset can really run shop on people if they don't prep for it or don't let. I think I got it with the Bulk Upset twice. I got 2 cleanup games with Corviknight on the Bulk Upset, which is really funny. Lele, so this is where the team starts to get flopped. Sorry, I took a shower right before this and I had a little bit of water in there. This is where the team starts to fall apart a little bit, is with Lele here, because while Psychic Terrain is really, really nice for anti-Ice Shard, Sucker Punch for Dragapult, it also killed my ability to use priority my own Sucker Punch, my own Ice Shard, Mach Punch, and Vacuum Wave with Infernape, Shadow Sneak with Ol and Muck. There was at least one game where I ran Telepathy Lele to prevent getting terrain problems because I needed Infernape to Mach Punch Greninja, or Vacuum Wave with Greninja, versus Damien. The terrain really, really bogged me down, I think, more than it helped me. There were several times where I'd have to sack or play till my terrain fell, and then I could get Infernape in and click Mach Punch or Vacuum Wave, or Mamo in to click Ice Shard. So, well, it's nice for protecting Colt. With my heavy reliance on priority that I've developed over the last few leagues, Lele just does not fit my team, unfortunately. So, while this Fairy Dragon Steel Core is very, very good, I do think that I need to not use Lele for a while, at least until I develop a not-so-dependent strategy of priority. By no means is Lele bad, it's just the terrain messes me up so badly. Blastoise was such a late season addition that I don't really have much to say about it, and Araquanid only came twice, and I never got a chance to set webs. I've never been much of a hazard stack player or a hazard player, and I've really struggled to get webs up lately. Like, I just have not found turns to where I can click my own webs and get my own hazards up, so I don't know if that's another element of the game that I'm going to start pivoting away from again, is hazards, or if I'm going to try to reincorporate them. So, I mean, I never really got to do much with Blastoise, because it was such a late season addition, and Araquanid didn't really come either. Honestly, I think if I had taken Primarina over Lele, I might have done quite a bit better. Primarina's been a pretty good fairy type and a very good water type to me lately. I think that might have meshed, like Corviknight, Prima, Ape, and Surf would have been a really nice set of core off of 5 Mons, so I think that might have been the mistake I made. I probably should have picked back into Primarina, but it is what it is. Infernape, while it went 2-5 and didn't have that great of a season, I mean, really after the top 3, nothing had much of a respectable season besides a little bit of luck. I do think Infernape is a mon for me to revisit, especially if I lose Cinderace. Infernape kind of fits that fast fire type role. Its pivoting ability is great. I just couldn't get much going with it. I couldn't get it set up, or I had to sack it a lot. That was the problem too, is I had to sack Infernape quite a bit to keep other things alive, which didn't help me. But I do think Infernape is a very, very good fire type. I don't know why a lot of people don't like it. It's fantastic as Scarf. It's a good Specs user. It's a good band. I mean, you can throw any of the 3 choice items on it. It's good with a Life Orb as a setup sweeper, both physical and special. set up sweepers with Nasty Plot and Swords Dance. It's got priority on both sides as well, so I think Infernape is a mon worth pursuing again for me. Ditto never came. It was mainly a I'm going to bring Ditto to try and keep Ian from setting up on me, which worked because I kept his Mew in check, and had I brought it, it would have kept his Beedrill in check, because he wouldn't have tried to set up and go for game with Beedrill if I still had Ditto around. So, I don't know if I'll ever draft Ditto again. Maybe I'll pick it up. If I play Ian again, I'll pick it up the week before I play Ian and then drop it the week after, just to make him think about whether he's going to run setup sweepers on me and that. Mamoswine. So I think I made the wrong switch picking up Mamo. I think I should have stuck with Nidoqueen or gone a different ground type route. This is like the fourth or fifth time I've used Mamoswine, and I'm just not good with it. I don't know if it's just its speed stats what kills me or what, but Mamo just doesn't seem as good as it always, like, I don't know. It's weird. It doesn't seem as good as people make it out to seem to me. I don't know. I really don't know why I struggle with Mamo, but I don't know if I'll come back to it for a while. I'll probably leave it on the bench. Maybe draft it again if I need a ground ice type, but I just didn't have a lot of success with it. So, did not have a lot of offensive success with Superior, but Serp is another one of those mons that I tend to fancy, that people, especially in Gen 8, with the removal of Hidden Power, really think that Serp is not that great of a mon. Yes, it's not. You pretty much run Leaf Storm, Defog, Knockoff every single week. Like, that's literally all you run. Leaf Storm, Knockoff, Defog. And then fourth move, Toxic, Glare, Leech Seed. I ran Dragon Pulse quite a bit when I played opposing Dragon types, especially if I could be faster than those Dragon types. Just because if the Dragon types switch into a Leaf Storm via Resist, they don't want to catch a +2 Dragon Pulse. It's also the best coverage move I had. Versus Jet, I did run Nature Power with Electric Terrain on Manetric and Psychic Terrain on Lele to try and give myself Psychic and Thunderbolt, just to be cheeky. I don't know. It didn't do a lot defensively, or offensively, but defensively it did quite a bit. It does serve as an anti-Sticky Webber, because do you really want to give Serp a +1? Especially if it fires off Leaf Storms and you don't have a way to tank those Leaf Storms. Glare was so crucial this season in several games as soon as I started paralyzing things. Infernape, Main, Lele, Colt all could just start picking things off once they were faster. So, funnily enough, because I also have Serp and BRL, which I don't know where these videos tie together, if the BRL recaps up or not. Funnily enough, I've drafted Zero Aura 10 times, which was my most drafted mon, with Alola Ninetales coming in at 8 and second. I've actually drafted Superior 10 times. I did not realize I had drafted Serp so many times. I did draft it a lot in Gen 7 and early Gen 8, and then I got away from it for other grass types, and now I'm kind of back on the Superior train. It functions decently well as a defensive mon. As an annoying spread the paralysis, take away items, and potentially punch into things for chip damage. Doesn't have momentum. I wish it got Weather Ball. If it got Weather Ball, it'd be a hell of a lot nicer because I can get cheeky with Weather and Weather Ball, but it doesn't. So, yes, Serp is not the greatest mon in the world, but it does serve a decent purpose. I will be drafting Superior again. I might even be drafting it in the next league if I get the chance that I'm in. So, Serp is kind of my go-to grass, because I don't have a lot of grass types that I like and I'm good with, and Serp kind of just... I also don't draft a lot of defoggers, and Serp kind of naturally is just like, hey, I can defog. That's pretty easy. Slap that on me. I got a move slot for it. And I mean, it came to every game, I'm pretty sure. It came to every game in both NCL or BRL and WWC, because I just needed defog. Mega Main, another mon that really, really needed hidden power. Yes, I kind of got stonewalled by ground types quite a bit with main, but it still did decent. I don't know. I might draft main again. I might not. I might draft it again if I get an HP league where they allow hidden power. Or if hidden power comes back in DPSP and can be backtracked into Gen 8, then I will bring or draft Mega Main more, because hidden power ice. Chef Kiss. Take away the ground type problem, we're good. Or hidden power ground for opposing electric types, we're good. I mean, it's got a very, very shallow move pool, almost as shallow as Superiors, and just doesn't function very well without it. Alolan Muck, again, didn't have the outstanding performance that it did in NCL a couple seasons ago, where it had 10 and 6, but Alolan Muck is sneakily becoming my favorite Dark and Poison type. It's bulky with Stockpile, Curse, Assault Vest. Poison Touch is really, really nice. Gluttony is really nice. While it's not a fairy immunity, it is still decent at it. And it's definitely a mon that I'm going to keep in my thoughts as I'm drafting. I have another poison type that I really want to try right now as well. I'm not going to spoil what that is. Let's just say it's the next Zero or a Dragapult potential. That's all I'm going to say. I don't give away too much. But Alolan Muck is definitely a mon to revisit. Nidoqueen, first time I've ever drafted it. I think I gave up on it too soon. Honchkrow never came. Aurorus is a really nice lower tier, cheeky ice and rock type to fill in. I will probably go back to it. Araquanid, I think, is the best web setter. I just need to decide if I'm going to do webs or not. Umbreon, I was trying to branch into other evolutions. I've only really had success with Flareon. I've had zero success with Espeon. I've never drafted Leafeon or Glaceon. Sylveon, Sylveon and Flareon are the two that I've had moderate success with. Vape, I've not had any luck with. Jolteon, I've never really had luck with. Espeon, never had any luck with. And Umbreon, I just never brought it. And, I think in BRL I only brought it one time. So, it's too passive. It really is. I love Umbreon. It's my favorite of the evolutions. But as far as competitive play goes, this is probably the final hurrah for Umbreon. I seriously doubt that I pick this thing back up again. Thank you, Stop Sign, for telling me I'm protected. So, that's kind of where the team ends up. I think it's time for a little break from Polt. Corviknight definitely still on the radar. Infernape definitely on the radar. Serp on the radar. Monk, Queen, both on radar. So, what does that do as far as a league standpoint here? Career, I'm 192 and 260, so this is shrinking. This is getting closer. My win-loss, we are starting to break through. I mean, I went 4-4 plus 0, so it didn't really do much, but that should be 6-3, not 6-2. God, I've done a lot of 4-4s lately, and 6-6, 4-4, 4-4, 6-3, 4-4, 5-5. A lot of 500 seasons. Obviously, I didn't qualify, but we are starting to. I do feel like I turned the corner. I think when I took my break, which would have been right here after WWC Season 6, I think coming back into BRL Season 7, I think I started turning a corner. You know, I qualified. I made my first ever trip to finals. I think I might have finally started turning a corner where I'm 4-4. From the time I came back from retirement, I've qualified 50% of the time into playoffs. And I'm getting a little more consistent, finishing at 500 or better. So I do think that this is going to continue to change, and I'm excited about that because I feel like I feel like I've turned the corner to where I'm starting to get more consistent. The league records are still broken. I will fix it when I go to Arizona over Christmas. Differential, I'm under -100 for Gen 8. So again, slowly, I'm only 23 games off here. So I'm making ground. I picked up 2 playoff wins for the first time in over a year. So this will start to shift, I hope. So, and then Mon records. Wow, this is really, really small. There we go. Zeraora is still the undefeated champion at 92-10. Cinderace Polt is still sitting at number 3 at 47-21. Corviknight came screaming up. Wow, I've picked up Corviknight 6 times already. Corviknight came screaming up. 28-15 really boosted its differential this season. There's Serp at 26-29. Infernape 25-22. Lele perfectly balanced 17-17. Mega Man still surprisingly up there. That's mainly from its Gen 8 uses, Alolan Muck. Yeah, and then I think the rest of everything else just kind of filters its way out. Still Dragon Master, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, 7 in the top 25. So Zygarde finally fell out with Corviknight coming in. Anyways, Zeraora number 1, Polt number 2, Cinderace number 3, Hydreigon, Megachomp, Manaphy, Corviknight jumping into the top 10 for differential. So that's going to be it for this season. I hope you guys enjoyed this season of WWC. Next season we'll go back to 10 weeks. We'll be a little more competitive, a little more into it, I hope. So with that, I will see you guys next time.